Hello, I'm Ajit from USA Production, and today's video I'm trying to make the sci-fi Hollywood level VFX shot using three different programs. Yes, so the first one is Blender. Blender is open source and free software, and this software I'm using to create the 3D model and camera tracking. So the second one is Fusion. Fusion is developed by the Blackmagic Design, and this software is also has been used to create the blockbuster Hollywood movies. And the third one is Davinci Resolve. This is also from Blackmagic Design, and this software I'm using for editing purpose and the color grading purpose, you know, the final touch. All three software are available for free, but because Blender is open source program, so all the version of the Blender is for free. Other two software available in two versions, free version and studio version. For studio version you have to pay something, but for free version you can download for free forever. But for free you cannot access few things in free version. Okay, so I will provide the link in the description. You can get the detail about these softwares. I will start first Blender. Okay, because I'm recording this video in July 2020, I'm using Blender 2.83. okay, this is the latest version at today's time. If you're watching this video in July 2020, then it is the latest version for you. But if you are watching this video in future, then I don't know anything about, because Blender every month comes with something latest. Okay, so I'm starting with camera tracking inside the Blender. So I'm deleting this cube and light, go to this plus point and go to the VFX and click on motion tracking. Okay, inside the Blender I'm going to import my video. This video I have recorded from my DJI drone. This video is a little flat, and the color, and there is no contrast value, so it is almost impossible to place the tracking marker manually. Okay, so I will use the detect feature which is built in Blender. But first I will set the frames about 100, because I want to give you just an example. So I will not make as a project, I will give you an example. So I have to go only for 100 frames. And now I will click to prefetch the data, because after prefetching the data it will save inside the random access memory. So it will help us to playback this video in a smooth or the same how we can say frame rate. Okay, and now I'll go in middle of the timeline somewhere about 50 frame, because we have selected 100 frames. I'll go about 50 frame in the middle. I will click here detect feature, and I will track backward, not forward. Remember that. Okay, backward. But as you can see, our track marker are very small, so I'm deleting these all tracking markers. And you can manually increase the pattern size and the search size, but here I'm telling to Blender that this video is about little blurry footage. Okay, so it will automatically increase the size for pattern and for size for search. Hit to normalize, and now click on detect features again. Now as you can see, our tracker are looking great, better than before. And now click on these tracking backward, not forward. Okay, wait for it. Okay, so the tracking has been done from 50 frames to 1 frame, and now we have to jump on the last frame, 100 frame. And similarly we have to click on detect features. It will create some new tracking markers on your video, and again track backward, and again wait for it. Okay, so our tracking has been completely done here, and now what we'll do, we'll select all the tracker by hitting A key in your keyboard and jump to the solve tab. And now without changing any settings, first we will not do any settings here. Without changing any settings, click the camera solve camera motion, sorry. And if it in my case it is giving only 0.1 error, and it is very nice. See here, the solve error is 0.16 and 5 something. Okay, but in your case when you do the solve camera motion, it gives like higher number here, and that is not acceptable to work on it, because more than 1 it will be very bad track. So if you're getting higher number here, go to the track and go to the camera here, change your camera, give your camera parameters, and then tweak some settings. For example, play your keyframes and refine and these settings, and then solve camera motion again, track something again, add some new marker for your video, and then do solve camera motion. By doing this, repeating and repeating things, you will get the lowest number here. Okay, so first in my case I got 0.1, and it is pretty nice video error, sorry, solve error to work on it, because 0.3 is greater, 0.5 it's okay, average, 1 is okay, acceptable, but more than 1 is a bad tracking. You cannot start your work more than 1, okay, and I'll not recommend it for that. So now go to the scene setup, click on this setup, set as background. So it will set your video as in front of the camera as background, and at the same time do setup tracking scene, and it will add your a plane and a box same time. So with this we can find where is our origin point, which is floor and something like that. Okay, now I'm defining this track. This track is already selected. Okay, remember that. Sorry, oh my god. Okay, this track, I'm defining this track as a set origin point. Okay, because I'm putting the UFO 3D model somewhere here, around here. Okay, but here I'm not defining any floor, wall or something like that. First I'll go layout, and here as you can see nothing happened because there is no tracking markers. Now here as you can see this thing, this little arrow, click here. Okay, click here and check mark on motion tracking, and now as you can see the tracking markers on your 3D scene, and this is your camera here. Now press 0 to view as a camera perspective. Okay, increase the timeline a little bit and hit N and select the camera. Hit N, select the camera, go to view and check mark on lock camera view. Now your camera has been locked for that the background. Okay, now as you can see here, because our camera is selected, and we go for the object property, because this object is camera, so the property is for camera, not for other object. Okay, remember that. So go to this object property. As you can see here, we'll get a location, rotation and scale. These all parameters. This is also called the camera position, or you can say in the term of technology it's a camera transformation. So we'll tweak these numbers, and we'll play around these numbers to make it our scene setup, or to define the best floor for our scene. Okay, so first I'll play with X rotation somewhere like this, and Z for location, do little upside. Okay, it's something like here. Okay, now sorry, and I'll play with Z. Great. And don't forget to uncheck mark this lock camera view, because if anything you're doing on your screen, it will change for your origin point. Nothing will change for your camera. So don't forget to uncheck mark this the lock camera view, because otherwise it will make your settings again in a bad condition. Hit N again to disappear that toolbar, and now as you can see our scene is set up as a floor, and it is nice tracking as you can see here when I'm hitting to play this video, and our ground and that box is moving with our video. Okay, so this is a nice tracking here, and we can go again for motion tracking, and now we can define the floor here. So it will give some more accurate data. Okay, so I'm clicking this this one, hitting shift, press shift, okay, shift, this one and this one. I'm set these three tracks as a floor. Great. And I told you already I selected this track for as origin point, and that's fine. Come to layout again, and our scene has been set up nicely, okay, and it is tracking nicely. And now we'll import or append our 3D model. One more announcement that before, okay, I'll do announcement later. First, uncheck mark this motion tracking, so the marker from your screen will disappear, okay, because we do not need now. Delete this whole thing, light and the ground and the box, okay. Go to file, append, and where I have saved desktop project, the UFO, okay, object. Here I have to select only one object, UFO bonus. Okay, so now the announcement is this model I have downloaded from the blendswap.com. You can get the same model. I will provide the link in the description, okay. So I append that I have downloaded from there, I unzip the file, and now I have append this UFO inside the Blender, okay. Now to watch your from your camera view, it is too large. Now make it small, hitting S and make it small. Go to first frame, press Z and Z to make it little down somewhere here, okay. At the last frame, Z and Y to make it in middle somewhere here, and S to make it little larger, okay. Now go to first frame and play this video. See, nice tracking and everything is very nice, okay. Now we'll add few things. For example, I will add lighting here, so it will look more sci-fi look, and I'll do here lighting, the ambient light, and the rotation animation for this. Okay, so start from animation. Go to select the UFO and go to project property again, okay. And as you can see, the rotation from Z, when I'll play with Z value, and it is rotating, right. Put 0 for now. And as you can see, oh my god, sorry. Okay. As you can see here, here is rotation X, okay, rotation Y and rotation Z. These are the value parameter. These are the lock and unlock. But these 3 points, what they for used? These 3 point is used for keyframing. What is the keyframe? Keyframe is create the animation for your video or for your object, for anything, okay. In Blender, inside Blender, you can do keyframe for almost for everything. So here I will use this keyframe to create an animation, rotating animation for our object here, okay. So from first frame, I'll hit on this point. It will create a little point on the timeline here, and this is called a keyframe, as you can see here, okay. This little yellow keyframe, okay. And now go to jump on 100 frame, and here I'll give value around minus 360, okay, and click on that keyframe again, so it will add another keyframe. Now the value for one frame is set at 0, and the value for Z on 100 frame is set at 361 or 60, something like that, okay. Now our object will behave like keyframe, okay, what we have set it here. So go to the first frame, and as you can see here, our object is started to rotating, Okay, as you can see, from starting is start rotating, and until end it is stopping. So how we can make it constant rotating? Because we want our UFO rotate constantly. Now we will remove this timeline and we'll take here a graph editor. Sorry, go here and graph editor. Okay, as you can see here, our object is selected, Z rotation is selected, and as you can see, the curve for graphs from 1 frame to 100 frames, and it is giving some shape like a smooth shape. Okay, so it is stopping nicely. Now we will create the state line. So it will start constantly and stop constantly at the same value. Okay, linearly. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. And this is also a linear, not a smooth, a linear value. Okay, now jump to the timeline again. Where is the timeline? Here. Okay, sorry, go to the first frame, and as you can see, our UFO is constantly rotating without stopping or ending the rotation. Okay, and remember that everything whatever I'm going to render here with Eevee engine, I will not use here Cycles engine, because Cycles is a professional engine that gives more realistic effect, but here for us Eevee engine is enough. Okay, go to the render view. As you can see here, nothing, because it is darker, because there is no ambient light, there is no point light, there is no sunlight, so it is almost dark everything. But before giving some light here, I will change something like ambient or occlusion here, bloom, no bloom. Okay, yes, I'm going bloom. This is about 0.8 threshold. Okay, knee, increasing knee, that's it. Radius also increase. Go to the world settings and make it all the way down, black, and motion blur, of course. Okay, don't forget to click on motion blur, because it will give some realistic effect while playing video. Go to the film and hit on transparent, don't forget it. Okay, and now the time is to add some lights here. Okay, for example, here I'm adding a light, a point light. Okay, hit Z to make it up, and Z, Y for inside here, inside the UFO. Okay, now go to the renderer option. As you can see, the light has been affecting, but you cannot see while, because the light power or the strength of light is very low. Here we'll go around higher value. For example, 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going very higher value. As you can see, the light effect you can see from here. Okay, and now change the color, like give some sci-fi color. For example, I'm giving the red. Okay, as you can see here, also you can give the blue. So blue, red, yellow, pink, these are the sci-fi colors. Okay, so you can play around these values, and you can make your UFO more realistic. Okay, Z and hit X to make it more in forward, and in this way you can see your light ambient nicely. Okay, see how's the effect is coming through the UFO. It is giving some real effect, something other world person having some nice technology. Okay, it shows something like that. And you can also use some sunlight, and after all you can render this video. Render, how you'll render this? Okay, I'll explain the rendering. And now, because I want to render only this 3D part, I do not want to render these photographs, because this video, sorry, background video, because later what I want to do, I do not want to compose this video inside Blender. I want to compose this video using Fusion. Okay, as I already told you in the starting time, in the introduction time, that this video I will compose it inside the Fusion, and I will edit this video using Davinci Resolve for because using Davinci Resolve we can play with more colors and many things, okay, for final touch. So I do not want to render with the background. I want only transparent 3D model. I think most of the people understand if you know something about video or VFX kind of things. Okay, so everything is done here. Okay, now go to the compositing. As you can see here, everything is connected. For example, the render layer is connected to the alpha over node. Alpha over node is connected for composite node and same time to viewer node. And this is our movie clip. Movie clip is connected to this scale node and then alpha over, and the shadow is also connected for alpha over node. Now what we'll do, this shadow layer, connect this shadow layer direct to this alpha over node here. Okay, and click on this convert permal and delete all these nodes. Okay, background and scale and alpha over, delete all these nodes. Correct. Go to the layout again and check whether it is but before rendering, just give the lower resolution, so it will render your video, your footage fast. I will just check the render image, how it will be the output before rendering final. Okay, wait for it. Okay, fine. So as you can see, the final rendering should be like this. Okay, as you can see, the final rendering will be like this. There is no background video, it is just alpha 3D object, and that is a transparent background. Okay, so now we can increase the resolution here up to 100%, and we'll create here, we'll give some destination path where we want to save this our footage. I will save here on desktop and give some folder location for folder. Okay, accept it, and always remember this output will be always in PNG format. Okay, don't do in video format or JPEG format, otherwise the background will not be transparent. Okay, because only in PNG you will get as you can see here, I'll zoom it. Okay, can you see this option RGBA? Here R means red, Z means green, B means blue, all RGB color plus alpha. Alpha means transparent background. Okay, so only in PNG format we'll got RGBA option, otherwise in video format we'll not get this option. Okay, so remember, if you want your 3D object in transparent way or composite and another software, then you have to export your 3D model into the PNG format, and always remember, select RGBA. Okay, RGBA. I'm repeating again, this is most important. Okay, if you want your object in transparent way, or you do not want your background in solid way, just in transparent way, then select PNG format and select on RGBA, red, green, blue plus alpha. Okay, and now you can simply go render and hit render animation. Okay, wait for it, and it will take some time. I'll return back with another software. Okay, now our Blender part is finished here. Okay, so Blender has exported that 3D model into the PNG file with the tracking data. So now we have both thing here, foreground and the background. Okay, and now for the next step you got two options. You can use Fusion Studio standalone version, but if you do not have one, that you can use Davinci Resolve built-in Fusion. So first of all, here you do not need any studio version because we are doing a simply using merge node. We already have a tracking data from Blender, so we do not need any studio version here. If you have a free version of Davinci Resolve or Fusion Studio, Fusion, then you can use that one also. It doesn't matter. Or if you have any other software such as After Effects, and that is also great. Okay. And now I'm going to open the Fusion. Okay, here I'm using a studio version. Now I'm importing the both thing, this first of all the PNG file, and I'll rename that as background. So I'll type only here back. Sorry, I made mistake. Sorry, this is not a background. Oh my god, this is foreground. So I will type here for only. And this is the drone video is our background, so I'll rename it as a background because it is back. So simply we can recognize this file. Okay, and now we have foreground and background using merge node, merge 2D. Okay, now simply foreground will go for foreground connection, background will go for background connection. Okay, and simply we can drag to view this for the first screen and fit for this screen. Okay, so simply we have merged foreground and background, two things. So foreground is just a PNG format, that is not a video, but background it is an MP4 format. Okay, but for composition software it doesn't matter if the file is available for image sequence or maybe it is available for video sequence. It doesn't matter. Sorry, not video sequence, in video format. Okay, I'll go about 500 frames here and up to the last frame. Sorry, the last one there is no decrease the high quality and motion blur. Okay, so overall we have the result something like this. Now what we'll try to match the colors of foreground and background. So for that you got an easiest option. You can use for example, you want to copy the foreground color to the background, or if you want to copy from background color to the foreground color. For example, I want to copy background color to the foreground, so I will simply add a color corrector node for the foreground, and what I'll do, I'll give the match references from the background to the foreground on the color corrector node, match reference. And now simply select the color corrector node and go here, menu. As you can see here, oh my god, why it is not working? Oh, okay, my zooming is not working, I don't know why. So go to menu here, please adjust because I cannot zoom there. Okay, so go to menu here and select histogram. After that, histogram type, select here match. Immediately it will you can see some changes here, but this result is very bad. Okay, you do not want to this result on your screen. Of course the colors are matched. Okay, foreground and background are both matched, but it is not looking professionally. Okay, the color are masked out and washed out, whatever you want to say. It's a bad quality color. Okay, so definitely you do not want to that thing in your final result. So we'll try to arrange something from here, from this match RGB and also smooth correction. So I think this idea is not great. Okay, giving the reference and matching for using color corrector node to give the match reference to that node. I think this idea is not good because this will not work nicely. So first of all, we'll do everything manually. Okay, first the foreground. I think I should choose the background first. Okay, So first set the color for background. What I'll do, as you saw the demonstration video, I made the main video as looking at night, not, it's looking evening kind of thing. So everything is desaturated there, and a little darkness is there. So to create that kind of effect, you have to increase first of all, go to the labels. Okay, here down the labels here, don't play with brighter label because it will make your video brighter. Play with darker here. As you can see here, we have increases the contrast, but not we are not playing with darker or brighter here. Okay, for that what we have to do here, come to color, and make sure you have selected ranges as master, and go to the gain value. Okay, and now decrease this gain value until you are getting this darkness nicely, and increasing this lift value. So the video will be darker, but same time it will not lose some data. For example, as you can see the shadow, when we are doing lift here, as a default value, as you can see here, the shadow or wherever you got some tree and more darker part, that is almost lost some data. You cannot see anything there. For that, to recover that data, you have to increase the lift value. Okay, something like that. Now of course we have a darker video, but we have all the data inside there, so we can see simply everything. Even it is dark, but we can see everything there. Okay, if you want, you can decrease more, and of course increase the contrast. Okay, and decrease more, and add here a blue effect. Okay, why? Because as you see, at the night time, we give some ambient like something like bluish, so it shows that it is a darker part. So blue means it is cold, and it shows just a night time. Okay, I cannot explain why we need blue at night, but it's a major color to appear at night. Okay, and of course we do desaturated everything, because at night time we cannot see any color. Okay, you know, night time we cannot see any color, just darkness. I love darkness actually. Make more blues. Sorry, we'll not play with master color here. We'll go shadow, and here we can increase the blue, and midtones we'll also go for blue, and little blue is okay, and highlight we'll go little yellow. No, yeah, that is great. And go to shadow, and here gain, increase the gain. That's nice. Come to master, the range for master again, and do gain little bit more, and increase the contrast more, and that's great. And same we'll do with our foreground. We'll first of all we'll make it go to levels. We'll make it darker, more darker, and comes to color. Inside master we have to decrease the gain value, but not too much. As you can see here, we do not want to lost this this glowing light. Okay, this is only giving some sci-fi effect, so remember that we do not want to lost this light here, and we do not want to decrease more gain value here, but we can use the lift value to make it more matchable. Okay, main and 4, back or 4. Okay, and same time we can also go for the shadows. Go give little bit blue here, and come to master here, and do little you can make this saturated because this is a foreground and it is giving some glow, or it is a machine from another world. It can show us an greater technology that human don't have. So it doesn't matter what kind of presentation you are giving for the UFO, okay, that can be acceptable definitely. But another thing you can do here, you can add glow, soft glow, okay. What soft glow will do, it will give some ambient occlusion. How can I explain that? Okay, let's see by practically. If I will increase the gain value and threshold as well, and increasing glow size, now see there what is happening. So the glow kind of thing is also is also affecting to our background, okay. So it is looking more real. It is looking like, yes, the light is affecting our background, so it is giving some realistic effect to our video. Decrease the threshold here, increase the gain value, and increase also the glow size. If you want, you can go up to 150 to increase more, and of course increase the gain value more. But as you can see the circle kind of thing. Don't worry about it. When you will export this file, export in 8-bit or 10-bit color, then it will the circle kind of thing will automatically removed from here, okay. Don't worry about it, because just now, because we are viewing in low resolution, this is the reason that we can see here some circles around these lights, okay. And now if you want, you can do this glow size a little, decrease the glow size here, but I think so that is fine. Up to here it is fine. And now finally add a saver node here. Remember, our editing is not completed here, okay. We will play with more color inside Davinci Resolve, and we will try to fix, and we'll try to match more color grades between foreground and background inside the Davinci Resolve. So you can export the both files separately. For example, if you want to export this only foreground for different for separately, then you can use here saver node for the foreground only with this effect. And at same time, if you want to export your background with this color, then separately you both you can understand foreground and background, you can separately export to the editing, okay. And inside the Davinci Resolve, you can merge again there, and you can play around because what it will help for separately you can control for foreground color and for background color, not at the same time but different time, okay. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say. But here I'm going to export this file as together, okay, foreground and background together. But if you want, you can export it with separately, so you can have a more control on it to change some colors, okay, and give some lens flare kind of thing, okay. Here also you can give the lens flare effect, but here it will not looking good, because at the time of editing inside Davinci Resolve and Adobe Premiere Pro, what program you prefer, do there, export from the Fusion or After Effects, whatever you are using. After exporting from here, you can edit from the editing program. Maybe you can edit also using Shortcut, okay. Shortcut is free and open source program. So this was the video. I hope you got something new from this. I use 3 software for my final video that I will put in the last of the video for demonstration. You can see for that personally I used 3 software: Blender, Davinci Resolve, and this Fusion Studio standalone. So if you want do something like real effect that I try to did, that you can use these 3 software, and you can just experiment by yourself. So thank you for watching this video, and yes, just thank you.